and welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Volodymyr Sologub. Join me now to discuss a court watchdog NGO, Open Court, is its founder and CEO, Mr. Ctanislav Batrин. Mr. Batrин, welcome to Viewpoint.
Hi, thank you for the invitation.
Mr. Batrin, you founded an NGO called Open Court, which main goal is to make Ukrainian courts more transparent. Can you tell us what prompted you to do that?
You know, even I would say that not more transparent, but to establish the standards of justice in Ukrainian judicial system. But we fully understand that if we do not have the rule of law in Ukraine, we will not have the future of Ukraine at all. So an idea was to change Ukraine and to be independent, not think of politicians, members of parliament to do what we do. And, you know, if at the beginning of 2015 we heard a lot of points of views on our activity, even judges told that it's some kind of pressure on courts. And I would say that at the end of 2015, we have a partnership with the Supreme Court of Ukraine, high specialized court in civil, in criminal cases, and more than 50 courts around Ukraine, National Bar Association, lots of NGOs. So
Mr. Batrин, just let's make it clear for our viewers. What you're doing is you're sending the activists who are not journalists, just regular activists who are volunteering or working for your NGO with video cameras to the courtrooms. In many countries, this is not allowed. Especially in Ukraine, Ukrainian judges, aren't really happy about having someone with a camera in their courtrooms. So how is this working for you?
You know, according to new Ukrainian legislation from the 28th of March 2015, it is allowed in Ukraine, one country in the world, to do video recordings from a courtroom of court trials in criminal, civil, commercial, administrative, constitutional cases. So we have a really great tool to fight corruption in Ukraine. So we've started online video filmings, we've started recordings of court trials. So 46 million of people can see what happens inside of a courtroom. This is very important because every man who fights for his rights in courts becomes stronger.
But Mr. Batrin, so what are you trying to achieve by filming or live streaming out of the courtroom?
Our goal for 2016 is to create a video archive of video court trials in such cases. So everything has to be transparent. Everything has to be clear for everyone. So when you see what happens inside, we can say that we can kill corruption in courts with this unique method. After that,
Mr. Batrin, I'm sorry, can you explain to our viewers how exactly do you think that video filming of what happens inside the courtroom helps fight corruption? Because a lot of things happen beyond the courtroom.
Okay, but first of all, when you do video recording, you create a reputation of a judge, a reputation of prosecutor and a lawyer. So we collect these videos to our website, to YouTube, so everyone can see the level of professionalism of a judge, prosecutor and lawyer. And then the point of view of society is really crucial for these people. So Open Court project is all about the reputation of the judge, prosecutor and lawyer. They have to think what happens tomorrow if today they act not obeying the rule of law. This is the most important, because today you see that politicians say...
So these are basically reputational issues. You're not trying to bring anyone to justice. You're not trying to capture some misdeeds.
No, I have to disagree. The first step is to establish the standards of justice, and this is all about the reputation. But the next step, if we see that someone not obeys the rule of law, judge, prosecutor or lawyer, we have to bring them to justice. To change the system of Ukraine, we have to talk about the responsibility of every judge, every prosecutor and lawyer. And I have a great news. Next Monday we are launching the Legal Ethics Committee in Ukraine. which will include the greatest lawyers, the well-known experts, the distinguished persons in Ukrainian society, 9 persons, and they will do what you're asking about. They will check the level of professionalism of every judge, of every prosecutor and a lawyer. And then I can name one of them, Professor Vasilenko, who was a judge in Yugoslavia, Tribunal to Yugoslavia. If he signs this document that one of the judges who was in this case, who is not obeying the rule of law, the next step will be our pressure, our legal pressure on constitutional bodies to bring them to the justice, to bring this man to the justice. And this will be
so
like...
basically, Mr. Batrин, the ultimate goal is to clean Ukrainian judiciary system out of the corrupt judges and prosecutors as well?
You know, to clean, maybe not the correct word for this, maybe not to clean, but to make them obey the rule of law. This is an idea. But exactly, you're right, the first step will be to maybe to fire judges who are not obeying the rule of law, prosecutors, maybe to cancel licenses of lawyers who feel really comfortable with this corruption.
So basically what your NGO is doing, you're targeting all the actors in the courtroom, the judge, the prosecutor, and even lawyers. Even lawyers,
yes, because we understand that to fight corruption in courts doesn't mean to fire all the judges in one moment. Because, tell me please, we have a lot of lawyers in Ukraine, but if they become judges in one day, who will guarantee that they will not take some bribes from the parties of the case? No guarantees. So we say that if we put some amendments to our constitution, this is not a decision, this is not an appeal for Ukraine, because tomorrow we have to think about the implementation of this issue.
And Mr. Batrin, can you tell us what are the main challenges which you are facing in your line of work?
The main challenges for us are to make people believe in courts. Because, you know, today it's less than 10% according to some polls which were done in Ukraine. So what we do, we have to renew this trust in courts. How we can do it? First of all, we have to rise up the professionalism of judges, prosecutors and lawyers. People have to trust them, first of all. So our idea of creating a special legal ethics committee, I think, my point of view, is really brilliant for our time, because people do not trust to constitutional bodies. So they will exactly trust to these 9 brilliant, distinguished lawyers in our society who have greatest reputation. So we are starting...
But how effective will this committee be? How effective will be the work of your NGO, of your initiative? Because just recently, the procedure of firing a judge is very complex in Ukraine. And just recently, the first judges were fired which had grave misconduct, which were accused of grave violations of Ukrainian law in high-profile cases. We're talking about Tymoshenko case, we're talking about other cases, and they were just recently fired. So how do you plan to bring to justice, like, ordinary judges who violate the laws in ordinary cases?
You know, this method doesn't work in Ukraine. You are really, you're absolutely right with this case, example, Tymoshenko case, when even Mr. Kireev was fired.
It took years.
But he, one moment, he was fired, but he is not imprisoned. There is no decision on him that he acted illegal or something like this. This is a question for President and for Parliament. That's why we do not believe in our President, we do not believe in members of Parliament. We believe in our people, that we can change Ukraine. So our idea is not only...
But you cannot change the procedure of firing a judge, correct?
Sure, but the main point is that we are creating a point of view of this society. The one way is to ask...
Mr. Batrin, I just cannot understand how does this help, this point of view that, okay, this judge is corrupt or this judge is unethical. So he doesn't care. He's in office.
Today,
only the parliament can dismiss him.
Today he doesn't care because, for example, one person cares about his dismissal. And tomorrow he will care because thousands, hundreds of thousands of people will see what he is exactly doing, that he is really corrupt. And there will be great pressure on legislative, on constitutional bodies to fire this man. Today, when you are going to Ukrainian court, you are struggle for your rights, you're facing this system, you cannot be strong in this situation. We are talking about creating of video files for 9,000 judges, video files for 500 prosecutors, and video files for 30,000 lawyers in Ukraine. So when everyone will be thinking of their reputation, when they will understand that they are not facing with one man in a court procedure, they will be thinking of their future, because we will be stronger together. When 46 million people see what happens inside of a courtroom, this is a red card for a judge.
Mr. Batrин, very briefly, we're running out of time. Are there any success stories out of your project, apart from establishing the Ethics Commission?
Our success is 100% believe in our project in Ukraine. Because I would like to recall the beginning of 2015, everyone was...
Any judge, prosecutor, a lawyer, well, a judge or prosecutor fired, a lawyer had his license revoked?
You know, we are not talking right now about we fired some of them. We are asking, we are giving the point of view, providing a point of view in this society.
So basically it's work in the progress. Mr. Batrin, we're running out of time. Thank you very much for joining us today. We'll follow your work really closely, and we wish you best of luck. We're discussing the work of an NGO which was created to watch over Ukrainian courts in an attempt to make them more transparent, with its founder and CEO, Mr. Ctanislav Batrin. I'm Vladimir Sologub. Thank you for watching Viewpoint.